So we've already talked about the big Luis Perez trade. Pour one out for our king. It's okay. Austin Reed, all hail Austin Reed. It's his job now, well, which is good. However, he Austin Reed keeps his job in the loss as he should. The more awkward thing happened over in. They're not actually based there. They just play there. Over in Louisville, where Jason Bean got his team a win. And how did he get rewarded, Nick? How did he get rewarded?
Traded away. And just when I started really liking him, and I'm going, hey, this kid, I'm starting to get it. I like his energy. He's just got to get a little honed in, kind of that Matt Corral thing. Just hone him in a little and he'll be fine. He's going to be good for the Louisville Kings. And what do? Clutch win, too. To win that in overtime and throw it to the tight end like that, that was insane. And you just trade him? What are we doing, Louisville Kings?
Are we missing something? Is there some can't miss stud? Has Arch Manning declared that he's going to go to the UFL draft next year? Is that what's going on? Are we tanking for the number one pick? It makes no sense to me at all. For DC, like Tiamo's playing great. So all they're doing, so Bean's reward is to sit on the bench unless Tiamo gets hurt.
Yeah, Teamu's not losing his job to Bean. And
no, I know he's had an up and down season, but for his standards, still a fantastic UFL season. But he balled out this week. It's his job, so I guess DC decided they wanted to plan for the future, and they're hoping Tiamu, for all the right reasons, is not on their team next year, and they wanted the first dibs to Bean because Tiamo's got a very strong arm. Bean's got a very strong arm. I don't know. It's not a trade that makes sense to me.
Yeah, and he goes, what?
They also they traded for one of the DC backup quarterbacks. So
Mike DeLiello. Sorry, UFL fans. I'm not the best at keeping up with these players sometimes, so I'm going to go ahead and say that. Didn't know that
First time for both him and Chandler Rogers to get mentioned on this pod. Probably not the last for either of them because they're probably both going to play. Because I don't get it, but that was the trade there. I guess good for DC to kneecap a potential playoff opponent by taking their most exciting and best player on offense. They're playing chess. Louisville's playing checkers. I don't know. Because I was joking about the tank. There's no reason to tank for a draft pick in the UFL. None whatsoever.
None.
But the other trade, I think. So this podcast this season, I feel, has taken on two lives. One, we're talking Renegades football. Two, Rob's hating on the Birmingham Stallions. So I don't know if you had any more to say about the Jason Bean trade, but I think Birmingham's the one stealing all the headlines.
Yeah, Birmingham is going to do it, and we're going to quickly go through these games right now. We're just going through the trade right now, as just in case the audience is wondering our reaction to the games. But the Stallions ended up trading Matt Corral for the Orlando Storm's Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who was fighting for a starting job there, but looks like not Jake Plummer ended up taking that job, and rightfully so. He's having a hell of a season. So there looks like they're trying to find a spot for him, and then they decided it's going to be the Birmingham Stallions, and Matt Corral, I guess, is going to be on the bench because I don't see him taking Jake Plummer's job.
Right. So again, one of those things where it's like it makes no sense to me at all. Corral, he didn't pass the century mark in yards this game, but it's not all on him. He completed 65% of his passes. Just the Orlando Storm, Anthony Becht is proving he is the regular season coaching king of the spring league. So I guess they're making a change. And as we said, this offense has not looked well, but Corral has not been the reason why they haven't looked well. But I guess they're falling apart. Nothing good's happening. At the very least, with someone like Dorian Thompson-Robinson, when everything falls apart, he can go get a first down with his legs. So I see the appeal of making the trade. It also would not shock me if behind the scenes, whether it's Repoli, other league officials, they're like, "We need this guy starting. We need a ratings bump." Where would the ratings bump really help? Birmingham. All right, sorry, Corral, you're not the ratings needle mover. Dorian Thompson-Robinson will be. He will lead to a ratings bump because people are going to want to see if he's still got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Weird thing too is they ended up giving up Amani Bledsoe, and I don't know how good he is as a defensive end, but they not only did they just swap quarterbacks, which you think would just be whatever, you know, it
Yeah.
seems like that's what's going on across the board, except for the Renegades. They picked up just one player, but for them to also trade away to defensive end, which I think you need that to give to the Orlando Storm, just helping the Orlando Storm stay stacked because there's no movement on the quarterback position. Jake Plummer is going to end up still with that job, and now you're adding a defensive end over there. Maybe they're just beefing up Orlando, doing what they're doing. I'm right there with you, though. I don't think Matt Corral was the problem. I think they've got bigger issues to fry. I think they got to figure out their offense. They got an inexperienced head coach, and I think
They need a new coach.
That's going to be their number one issue. And poor Repoli, he is hearing it with Skip Holtz being in the room too.
You know, I think if we're not going to just admit we made a mistake, because Skip Holtz is still clearly hanging out in Birmingham, he's still clearly around. If we're not just to say, "Hey, dude, sorry, mistakes made. Can you come back in?" Which, if I'm Skip Holtz, I'm like, if you triple my paycheck, and I know you won't. Let's do a little rookie of the year style thing. Let's have a Repoli step in.
No.
That'll get the ratings up.
It'll get the ratings for one game. This is third time in a row I'm bringing up Jeff Saturday as a head coach. It was the same thing though. It just brought up the ratings. I had to see this.
Let's bring in Jeff Saturday to coach the Stallions. I would say he's a better coach than AJ McCarron.
Yeah, at least he did it. You know, in the NFL, I mean, and won a game. You got to give him that credit. So it's not like he lost it out there. It was probably easy though. They already had everything in motion, but he just followed it.
And the Stallions have won a game, but it's more like they didn't. They were the team that lost the least in their win earlier this season.
Whew, yeah. Crazy. I love what's going on with the UFL, though, at least when it comes to movement of quarterbacks. I don't agree where all the pieces went, I guess. I'm still really confused. The way I see it, the one team that needed a quarterback more than anyone, not the Stallions, not obviously the Storm or the Defenders, not even the Louisville Kings, was the Gamblers. And they're the only ones that don't end up getting one of these quarterbacks. And I'm like, they're the ones that need it the most out there. Their quarterback play is just not good. Just not good. I remember when Henderson got the starting nod, I was like, that's the best you got. And now watching what I have, that's the best they got. And they gotta figure it out, I guess.
But the league's got a huge issue. They've got 4 teams at 1-3. We talked about this a little bit on the live stream for the game. We talked about it on last week's pod. The playoffs are we're 40% of the way through the season, and the playoff teams already look like they're probably locked, and that's just wrong. Louisville Kings have a very good defense. They just had to figure out their offense. They've started to figure out, and then you said, oh, wait, never mind. We don't want Louisville to compete. We'd rather Birmingham compete. But I don't think Birmingham has enough at 1-3, whereas you look at Louisville or Columbus, maybe they can make a run, but they got to make a real run, which could start with emphatic fashion this week for Louisville. But Houston and Birmingham are dumpster fires. And with
Yeah,
Houston, I don't think it's the coaching. I think it's just the complete dearth of talent on that team, far and away. Um,
well, their defense is stacked, and I actually like their defense a lot. And they can work
their
with that
talent on
part,
offense. Yeah.
but it's just a quarterback. You just need a quarterback. I'm sorry, uh, Toley. I keep saying Toley just because I can't pronounce the Tagovailoa names, and I'm just so
Tua's
used to
brother.
saying Tua's brother. Yeah, not Tua Tagovailoa. But anyway, I mean, he goes in there and what does he get? 50%, 64 yards, no TDs. And then he does get a rushing TD. He does get a rushing TD. And Henderson, they pulled him early. They said 4 for 7. He could still have issues with his finger. And if that's the case, then I shouldn't be so harsh on Henderson. I just don't think he's the most accurate quarterback out there. He's got great legs. He's got great, I mean, like, he kind of reminds me of that Texas quarterback, Ellinger. Kind of reminds me of that, where he's got great tenacity. Love the kid. Root for him anytime he gets a chance. He is real fun to watch, but dude, as Troy Aikman said, the number one most important thing from a quarterback that you need is accuracy. If you're not accurate, the rest of it doesn't matter. And I think that's the case for Henderson. He's just not accurate. Hopefully that improves later. He's got a strong arm, but not an accurate quarterback. And I guess the Gamblers are left out of this whole quarterback mess, and they're moving forward. Did you get a chance to watch the Kings versus the Gamblers? Going
No,
back, yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Yeah, we're gonna start diving into the games now, guys. I didn't, but I missed a good one. I went back and I watched the highlights. I read up on it. Good for the Kings. They finally got it done. What an ending. And honestly, like if the Louisville Kings were 2-2 right now, and I think they probably should be, because again, I think they got screwed. Um, we'd at least have a 5-team race for the playoffs, and that's very frustrating. And I think there is a very real chance that a very stupid rule is going to keep them out of the playoffs. But wow, yeah, Jason Bean, congratulations. Your reward is a backup job. It was a fun game. Did you get to watch some of it? What were your thoughts?
I got to watch it that night. Stars hockey wasn't on yet, and then I'm warning you, UFL fans, we're in the fever pitch of it. And we'll talk about that later in other sports. But
The
I did
Bruins
get
game's on right here, right there. There's a Bruins game.
Yeah, and I do the same exact thing. I'd have the Stars in the background cheering for goals, and I'm right there with you on playoff hockey. It's very entertaining. But I forgot your question. What was it? The Kings.
Kings game.
Oh yes. So the Kings in general. I mean, the Kings had a really good start to the game. They started off getting a 10-point lead, and a lot of credit to the Houston Gamblers for sticking with it. Their defense stayed strong, and they were able to climb back in this game and get it tied with 22. It became a field goal fest in the fourth quarter. Wasn't a big fan of that.
But it was big field goals.
There were some big
field goals.
Yeah. There were some exciting field goals out there, and it looked really good. Got to give a lot of credit to the Houston Gambler. Marcus Yarno busted it out, huge 63-yard run, and went 6 attempts for 111 yards. Looks like they found themselves a running back, and that's probably what they should stick to. A lot of play action right now. If I have to work with the army that I have, I would get Henderson in there as soon as I can and just do a bunch of play action and try not to have him pass. I call it the Tebow strategy, where you just try to limit that as much as possible and run the ball, and you'll get back into games like this, and they did a great job to get back into it. But being overtime, went 17 for 34 for the game, 192 yards, 1 interception, 0 touchdowns passing, but 1 interception to Bean is almost like having a perfect game because he's a wild one out there, and I would take that. And great win, great clutch throw to McKinney in overtime to get it there. That was a gutsy play by Bean out there. And he gets rewarded by getting traded. I feel like Beans actually got a lot of something. I thought he was a good fit for the Louisville Kings, and I thought they were starting to head to the right direction. But then the trade happens, so sorry, Bean, but good on you. Now onto the bench for the DC Defenders. But great game, and I love the fact that, like you just said, you were pointing out that they got screwed in the last game. The ironic win to actually pull it off in overtime, and with the new rules out there too. So it really worked out for Louisville to kind of get a little redemption for what they had in the previous game. Then you got the Battlehawks versus Defenders. Unless you have more, Rob. I'm sorry. Do you have any more?
That's all I got on that one.
The big rivalry, the Battlehawks versus the Defenders. The Battlehawks ended up winning it 28-22. The offense was not because of the quarterback. Just a bizarre. I'm sorry. The Defenders ended up winning it 28-22. Teamu had a really good game and went 22 for 36 and over 200 passing yards. His first time of the season, I believe. Right, Rob?
Correct.
2 touchdowns, 61 yards rushing, just an overall really good game. Teamu is back at that MVP level, and he did a good job at going against the Battlehawks there. I feel like when he's got the running game dialed in and they've got the two-way attack, two-dimensional offense, Teamu is one of the most unstoppable quarterbacks in the UFL, and it showed against the Battlehawks. But on the Battlehawks side, Harrison Frost, not good. Not good. I was so excited
for him.
For him
a few times, though.
He's exciting to watch, but dude, you can't go 6 for 21. That's 25%. What do you've got to have the offense and flow out there, and I just feel like he didn't do that.
That's why they have a new starting quarterback coming in.
And Luis Perez has got a lot to work with, though. This offense is a very talented offense. I love their receivers. We talked about Hakeem Butler over there, so I think Luis Perez has got some tools to work with, and it was just something that Harrison Ford or Silvers just could not figure out. He did throw for a touchdown pass. I should give him some credit there, but also threw for an interception.
But who did he throw the touchdown pass to?
The man, the myth, the legend, Hakeem Butler. And
I'd like to think one of us could also do that.
Probably. And did you see that one? And I was going to get that one too, that videotape of it, where Hakeem Butler was triple covered.
Right before halftime? Screwed it up.
Yeah.
So I did. I saw the highlights of that. And also the way the UFL writes it up, there were 4 defenders there. It looked to me like triple coverage, but maybe there was a 4th in the area and they're trying to give him more credit. I'm all on the Hakeem Butler train. I don't know. I feel like the Renegades should have demanded him for Luis Perez. I think that would have been fair.
Could you imagine? That'd be a pretty unstoppable offense. Poor Vaughn over there would be like, "What about me?" And we're like, "Yeah, we got Hakeem Butler now, man."
He'd be even more open.
Yeah, because and if I remember correctly, Rob, I might have said triple coverage. I'm pretty sure it was quintuple coverage, if I remember correctly, by the way.
I thought I saw 10 defenders on him.
10 defenders, 1 pass rusher in that defense. It was the greatest play of all time, and he caught it and ran up a mountain at the same time. Yeah. So
to lead to a field goal.
All that for a field goal because that offense was so stagnant out there. Me and you predicted this. DC Defenders were going to win this game in a revenge game. I'd be a little nervous that you allowed 22 points
I was about to
on the
say
Defenders side.
Yeah, especially when their quarterback completed 6 passes.
Yeah, not that great. That must mean, the running game just wasn't looking really good. And it says 28-22, but it wasn't that close. They ended up.
Howard went 8 for 85. Loudest went 3 for 10, and he had the touchdown. So
it's not like they had a great running game either, right? 85 is actually pretty.
Howard had a good day. Granted, his long was 51, so he was So not really. They had one good run because otherwise he was 7 for 34. Actually, that's still almost 5 yards a clip.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I mean,
Howard had a good day.
Deduction tells me someone had to do well. And I guess it was Hakeem Butler in the running game to get 22 points. So,
but also, yeah, only 2 touchdowns there, not 3. The rest of those points came via
field goals. Field goals, keeps on happening in the UFL. Oh, and shout out to the DC defenders. I forgot the guy's name. The kicker who had another big field goal. Actually, no. Oh, well, McCrane.
4 for 4 with a 56-yarder as his long. I mean, Tucker McCann for the Battlehawks also 3 for 3 with a long of 51. If this league does one thing, it produces kickers.
Yeah, shout out to Brandon Aubrey, who just made $7 million a year. He just got a contract dispute.
And I believe that's the number you said he should get.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah,
I wanted him to get more.
I mean, I want everyone to win, Rob, but it's just business.
I mean, maybe Butker has a higher guarantee, and he shouldn't because he's really not that good. But $20 million guaranteed. I didn't see that being touted as a record for a kicker, but that's got to be pretty close.
It's up there, and congratulations to you, Brandon Aubrey. Well-deserved, great entertainment. You were the excitement last year, a little bit of the offense too, but defensively, I guess nothing was exciting, and it was such a bad year that at least we had Brandon Aubrey. At least we had him.
Hey. But, next time we're going to be talking draft results in the NFL, and Cowboys have a chance to make some noise or do something really stupid. And you never know with Jerry.
You never know with Jerry, but yeah, we'll talk about that in some. I've got a lot of talking points, and I think you're like me, Rob. You just kind of want to see the players that you pick up. You're not a big draft guy, watching it while it happens, right?
Yeah, when the rare times in my adult lifetime when the Pats have been picking within the first 90 minutes of the first round, I'm tuning in. I will not be watching the draft on Thursday night. The Pats are picking 31st, but I'll see who they get the next. I'll see who they get that night, but I won't have it on TV. No. Fernando Mendoza is not even going to be there.
Actually, that's weird. I put that as a weird.
He wants to stay home with his family. He wants nothing to do with the draft.
But you're the number 1 overall pick, man. You're supposed to do the whole, I'm the legend. I'm going to save the Raiders.
Wouldn't it be wild if the Raiders say, F it, we got ourselves a functional quarterback for this year. We want Arch next year, and they trade the pick.
It could be. I don't know. Maybe.
Or they take Jeremiah Love. Running back number 1 overall.
Come on, Rob. Wait.
They're thinking he's going to go 3. They're thinking Love's going 3, so it's not that much of a stretch to go 1.
Yeah, well, they got Gentry. I think they're
right. So Gentry and Love. Who cares if Kirk Cousins can't throw a football? You got Gentry and Love.
It's very.
And you got
Dan
Brock
Campbell.
Bowers.
I was saying that's very Dan Campbell of you. Just load up the running backs. I want my running backs.
Hey. Yeah.
No. Okay, so Raider. Yeah. Mendoza. We'll call it the Mendoza line. If he's not a Raider, he didn't meet the line.
Mm-hmm. That leaves us one game to talk about.
That's the Storm versus Stallions.
All right, the Storm are the best team in the league. I said it.
Yeah, they definitely look like the best team in the league. Now, here's something that I have a question for you about, though. Stallions, you've been harping on them for at least showing up at games. 18,000 fans showed up for this game. They came out, and I think it was more of a protest against Repoli. I don't think Repoli minded, but I think they wanted to say, we support the team, don't get rid of us. And they shelled out, did with their part, and even Repoli mentioned in a tweet, hey guys, just want to thank your fan base. You did a wonderful job at showing up.
But they haven't been doing that. So are they going to show up for the Defenders next week, or they say, "Oh, we just saw a goose egg. Eff it, we're done."
I mean, but this goes back to my argument always with this UFL. It's already tough to get them into the spring league. But if you have a bad football team, why am I watching this again? Like, why do I have to go to this game? Just to support a
That's
bad football team?
that's why I think the call came from the league office to put Dorian Thompson Robinson on the Stallions. I think that was a
That
league call
you got to give them something. You got to give the fans something, and that actually is starting to
because
make more sense as I'm
they're
dialing up. That
hosting the
was a pretty good
defending
point.
champs. They're hosting the defending champs. You got to give them something. So it's a Friday night game. What else are you doing on Friday night in Birmingham? Is it prom? I don't know. 18,000 people. Find your way to the stadium. Watch another game.
Yeah, that would be nice if they did that, and they've done that
Do a free
before.
beer night. Free beer.
Well, they're doing cool little beer promotions. I love the fact
There's
that
a
they're
lot
using
of
beer
cheap
as a
beer
marketing
promotions.
tool.
Because, hell, I mean, a lot of people want to go out on a Friday or Saturday night. If you plan just to hang with your buddies and drink beer, if it's going to be cheaper to go down to the game, yeah, you'll pay for a $10, $15 ticket, but then you're paying $2 beers. You're probably still going to have a cheaper night. Go to the game.
Enjoy it. Yeah, and it is fun to watch too. It's a blast, Rob. I want to get you out to a UFL game so bad because it is fun.
Yeah.
It's a whole different atmosphere. Bunch of football nerds get together, even if there's very few fans. These fans are pretty loyal and they're very entertaining and very engaging and just my people. So I find them really fun, and I think you'd get a big kick out of it. So we're
Yeah,
out of Renegade games. Unfortunately, I think we only have one more
pretty
left,
much.
and that
Well, yeah,
one
because
we're not even allowed to.
well, they're hosting on the April 26th, but that's I don't, our schedules aren't really going to allow that.
No.
Um, and that's where like I I guess what drives me nuts a little bit, besides the fact, yeah, they're all in their bunker in the Dallas area, but there's because they're doing it that way, unless they have issues with all of these stadiums, which I doubt they do. Why are we stacking all the home games on one side of the season or the other for all these teams? Why aren't we rotating all the way through?
I don't know much about MLS season. You actually know more than I do about it. Maybe there's conflicting schedules and they're just trying to get it together. I know you watch an FC Austin game or two.
Yeah,
Haven't found my way
I
there.
mean, yeah, they're about to have another break, but then that's where you just figure it out and you schedule it around them. I know the ratings didn't do well on the Tuesday night game for TV, but you know what? You put it on FS1 and you barely advertised it. My goodness, put it on ESPN2. Put it on ABC. It'll be
Something.
fine.
Yeah.
And you say, well, you put it on ABC. They have to do their weekly TV shows. All right, we got less than a month left in the TV show season. I guarantee you most of the weeks in April are reruns until they hit May, and then they race off all their shows to finish May. Like, come on. Like,
Well,
there's ways to do this. The league's being stubborn, and it affects the product.
yeah. I mean, the big one that I'd be watching out for ABC is The Bachelor. I think that's their cash cow. And then didn't they cancel this
But
season?
they just canceled the
Something?
season, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Something happened with the lead cast member. Who knows? If you're into that, go TMZ it up. I'm sure they got it.
Yeah. Took up all my time on Beanie breakdowns. I'm not going into The Bachelor. I'm sorry. Although, do you want me to break down the Bachelor season? I could do it. I can quickly analyze it.
No,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
no. If we're gonna spend more time on anything, it's the NHL and NBA playoffs.
Yeah. Let's finish up the Storm and Stallions real quick. Jake Plummer looked good. 17 for 20. 27
Not
for
Jake
100.
Plummer.
Not Jake Plummer. I even wrote Rob. Look, I even wrote Jake Plummer on this thing. Not Jake Plummer. Went 17 for
Love it.
27 for 182 yards. I mean, Corbin looked really good. Hey, interesting part, KJ Hamler was out for the year, and I was thinking Roland's going to bounce back from this, and he had an okay game. I think it was like 3 receptions, 29 yards, something like that. Elijah Badger all of a sudden jumps in, gets 3 receptions for 63 yards. He ended up becoming their lead receiver, and I didn't expect that. So congratulations, Elijah Badger, for stepping up and having to take over this spot. Can you still hear me at least?
I can hear you, dude. Keep rolling.
Okay. But yes, KJ Hamler out with a hamstring injury. I'm really concerned on that front. Hopefully he makes it back here shortly. But that's all I got. Do you have any more on the Storm and Stallions? Stallions have a lot of problems. We all know it. I think it's mostly coaching, and they're going to have to figure it out. But outside of that, I got nothing else on that game.
I think we know for a fact AJ McCarron will not be the head coach in this league next year. Hopefully Birmingham still has their team when they have it. Keep showing up. Guys, if you keep pulling 10K plus, you're going to have a team next season. So please keep doing that, Stallions fans. We'd love to see some continuity for the history of the spring leagues. My bold take is by the end of the 8th game and no later than before they play their 9th game, AJ McCarron will not be coaching. Because I think they're just going to become a complete non-functional laughingstock. I know Winfrey isn't like some superstar player, but if something tells me he was saying what everybody is thinking.
Yeah.
And everybody, I mean, in that locker room.
It looks like that he's losing the locker room for sure. I think I'm just going to have to roll with this, Rob, from here on out. I don't know what's going on, but
I can hear you. You're good.
I've got some issues, but we'll go ahead and hit it with some